So, all throughout the summer months, we've been talking and have talked about five different works. But today, we're going to go over one of the most beautifully done webcomics that I've ever read. Written by Michelle Shaz. My god, I cannot pronounce this woman's last name. I'm really sorry about that, and I'll stop butchering her language right here and now. Anyway, the work started in 2012. The plot follows Ava Iyer, who lives in the future on a distant world going to school. However, she has one simple problem. She's haunted by a demon named Ratheria Bella Armina. Bella Armina. Yeah, with her name being Rathia, you can kind of guess what this demon's all about. Basically speaking, this demon likes making Ava's life completely miserable. So that Ava has no friends, her family doesn't even speak to her anymore, and she generally just wants to have a normal, average, everyday life so she can get on with her, get on and have people love her and everything. However, all that changes when one day her home planet is attacked by a mysterious alien invader known as the Silent Scavengers. From there, she goes off world, learns of Ratheria's motives as well as the Titan group, and agrees to a pact with Ratheria for reasons I don't want to talk about. I would say more about the story, but that would spoil a lot of stuff. So let's talk about what I think is one of Ava's Demon's most notable feature, its art. First, I have to say this: Ava's Demon is different from most webcomics. Most are done like actual comic books. Either they're done in a page layout or they're done in various strips. Now some might try to be more creative with it, but that's typically the way things are done. But here you have Ava's Demon, which takes a lesson from Homestuck, well, kind of, it tries to be a bit more unique. And that Ava's Demon is done by the panel. And while that sounds like a bad thing, as it does slow the pace down quite a bit, it does allow for a level of detailing and layout that I actually don't see in a lot of works. Each panel is beautiful, and each panel has a level of eloquence that's just damned impressive. It's impressive to see all this effort done on a single page on a weekly basis. It feels like I'm reading a painting. There are various little subtle changes here and there if you read each panel individually, and the way characters talk and express themselves and even begin to change throughout due to their own emotions fluctuating. It's honestly quite impressive to read. And still, it's honestly quite impressive to just read or just look at the art fly by when you're reading it rather quickly. There are also a few bits of animation here and there, as well as some music added in from time to time to give some special panels a bit more standout meaning. This leads to something that truly and honestly feels at home on the web and not printed in a book. I have to admit that this comic is something that I love, if only for its particular art style. The story seems to be headed in quite an interesting location, but because of the fact that the story is done literally panel by panel, its pacing is incredibly slow, and it feels like we're just getting started with some things. If I had to say anything negative, due to the fact that each and every page isn't really a page, again, the story is really, really slow. Which is less of a negative, it's more just a fact I have to admit when I read this thing. Honestly, most other webcomics that started 5 years ago are a lot further along narratively than this one. But honestly, I believe that the style of this work does, and the love that goes into it, is worth all the extra effort at each individual panel, which is ultimately a good thing. That's a lesson for any aspiring webcomic artist out there. Do what you believe is best for you creatively to do. That should get your work done efficiently and out there, whether you have to do it in a strip, in a page, or literally by the panel in this case. As long as you put your heart and soul into it, that's all that matters in the end. So yeah, if you're looking for a webcomic to read, I recommend this one highly. I repeat, I highly recommend Ava's Demon, and you should honestly go take a chance to read it if you have the possibility to. There's also a bit of a fair warning, because the art is so engrossing as also the story itself is also pretty interesting, you might find yourself reading a whole bunch of this stuff in a single sitting. But that's more of an attest to the work's quality as a whole. So yeah, we're now officially done with the summer of webcomics. And I have to say, I did like talking about them. I honestly look forward to reading new and interesting webcomics here and there. As there's so many, it's hard to separate the wheat from the chaff. So with that said, I want to turn to you, audience. If you have any interesting webcomics that you personally like or eager to share them to me. I might pick them up and start reading them myself. I may even talk about them on the show. Honestly, I just want to hear more about this potentially growing medium and see where it has to take us. With all that said, next time we'll be going back to something a bit more traditional. So, till then, everybody, I'll see you all next time.